Hello, it is I, the iconic. Let's try that again. Hello, it is I, the iconic Hideo Kojima character, the Tired Man from Silent Hills. And I am here to talk over the video to make it into a podcast so that you don't have to watch the video. Because I made a very smart idea that today I would make a video on the animation of a alert thingy that I made for my Twitch, which I later realized is not very conducive to a video because, as I'm sure you can see or not, it's very hard to tell what the fuck is going on with the animation when it's at times 2000 speed at all times. You will, however, see at the end, because I slow it down to show properly. But until we get there, enjoy whatever it is you might be seeing. And that's it for the intro. This is the second time I've recorded this. For reasons. Reasons pertaining to my microphone. But that's okay. Because we're here now, and we're recording a new one. Again. So, subject matter for today, mainly, is going to be about character writing. And sleep, I guess. So I want to carry on talking about sleep. I have not been sleeping a lot lately, and so I am very tired. Hard to put those two elements together, I know. Why have I... Oh, never mind. I'm recording with Streamlabs, and I was wondering why Devil May Cry 1 Sending was playing, and it's because I had a GIF on my stream of it. Anyway, whatever I was talking about. Sleep. It doesn't seem to be prominent with other people that I know of. I feel like I'm the only one that hallucinates, like, occasionally when they wake up. When they're, like, really tired. Or really... I'm not sure if it's just being really tired or tired and stressed. I think it's, like, the combination of that causes it for me. Where, like, multiple times I've woken up in the past and, like, thought I've seen things where it's weird because, like, an iconic hallucination I have had. Iconic. Because I got laughed at about it by my friends. Was a few years ago when I was on my uni course and it was final year. This is kind of where it started. I woke up and lo and behold, my room above my bed was a cube. A floating cube that was coming after me. And I was very fucking confused as to why this cube was in my room. But more importantly, who put this cube in my room? And so I went through the options in my head and I was like, what? This isn't normal. What else is not normal? Tony's downstairs playing Sea of Thieves. He's not normally here. He put the cube in my room. So I went downstairs and accused him of putting the cube in my room. And I sat there for a while. And I don't even think I fully, like, understood that it wasn't real yet. I just felt really uncomfortable and had to go back to bed. There was no cube when I went back. I did sleep after that. But that was interesting. And recently, the one I had that was of note was I woke up and I thought, because I've been stacking shelves in some job I've had recently, and the hours were really bad for it. But yeah, I went to bed, woke up, and I thought there were boxes of things in my bed, like by my pillow right next to my head. And I look at it and like, who the fuck would put these here? Now I have to put them away. And it's weird thinking back because there was obviously nothing there. Well, obviously. But there was nothing for me to grab, but it felt like I was moving things in my head. And that was particularly weird because it was so outlandish. Part of my brain was like, this isn't real. That doesn't make sense. But then the other part of my brain was like, just completely believed it. And so I just bought into it. I was just like, okay, doing it. It was just like a teeny tiny thought in my head that was like a separate person that was like looking at me like a goddamn idiot. Like, it doesn't make sense. But I went to do it. I did it. I felt like shit doing it. I was moving my arm around from my pillow to my like the other end of the bed. I sound like a goddamn crazy person now, I bet. But that's okay, because I'm sure anyone that watches the video will skip to the end. But if you are here and you have had this tragic tale, you're welcome. Oh, we were watching Kids on the Slope on stream, which I would never do on twitch.com/elaboratebagel because that's against TOS. But if I was, I would have watched the whole series. I'm not sure if I would have watched the whole series during this stream. It might be the latter half. Either way, Kids on the Slope is a pretty good show. It holds up really well from when I last watched it. It does a damn good job of developing all the characters effectively. And like the main character particularly, because he starts out as kind of a selfish piece of shit, just looking at everyone around him like cardboard cutouts and believing they are like embodiments of his misconceptions. A really good one that it handles in that regard was like when you're afraid of speaking to people you don't know in high school because you assume that they're just gonna laugh at you or not like you or whatever. Like, oh no, they won't like me, oh no. Which I was like that. But not like they won't like me, but like, it's not like they won't like me, there's no point in trying. Just save yourself the bother. And then you kind of deprive yourself of that. I'm pretty sure that's why he does it anyway. In any case, he has anxieties about talking to people in high school, partly because of his situation that he's been through. But there's a wonderful moment where he like it's not particularly built up. It's kind of like it's not built to a climax, but it's established as the show's gone through. And when he gets to this point where he actually, like, speaks to someone in the class because they are being accusatory of something. It wasn't, like, something particularly negative. I don't remember the context. But he has this moment, he, like, speaks to them, and they're like, oh, wow, we never spoke to you because we thought you were gonna be, like, yell at them or something. Like, flips it, and it's like, this is what the other people thought of him because of the way he was acting towards them. And I think that's a big part of the show, like that dynamic of trying to understand other people and understanding how your actions are affecting other people too. And just growing to be a better person all around. And that's what makes that show so good. They write it very well. It has one or two moments in particular that feel a bit rushed. One involving crabs, and the other I don't know if there's another, but that one in particular stands out to me as a little rushed. It's a good show though. It's a good show. Oh yeah, so I was supposed to talk about my character and stuff. So, her name that you've been seeing drawn here is Vale. I still partly cringe when I say that. She was is my PSO2 character. I say was because I don't play it very often. I got a little bit into that game, but it's definitely my favorite MMO that I've played gameplay wise. It's just a shame that the fashion's so limited. It's very limited, and I like that. I like fashion. I wanna look like a pretty elf. Alas, we can't have it all. Its gameplay though is really fresh. It's very it's like mild character action, which is a very fun take on MMOs, I find. Or maybe, well, I mean, others are similar. It just takes it to bigger heights for an MMO than I've seen before or experienced before. I've played like FF14, which was quite dull. I didn't like level cap or anything. I got like level 40 or 50 or no, that's not right at all. Hey, I don't know. I got some ways in. I was nowhere near end game though. Is my point. So it's hard for me to judge it. I wasn't on either of them though, but I mean you shouldn't have to be to start enjoying the game, you know. You shouldn't have to be like hundreds of hours in or 100 hours in just to start being able to enjoy the game properly. And I got that out of PSO2. I definitely like got the appeal of that game. It's fun. And yeah, the character though, Bale. I wanted to have like a little mascot for the stream, or just something to make the stream feel a bit more interesting. So I figured I'd add a mascot-y character thing for like the chat, like bot and stuff, which I haven't done that much with yet. I want to do more with that, but JavaScript is a bitch. It's a bitch. I do not understand that, and I've basically just been helped up to the point where it is now. It's a very basic bot that I have going. It works though. It does work. And I do appreciate that help. Thank you, Ollie, that will definitely not watch this video. But if you do, thank you for the help. You have been credited. Though you would be if you had a Twitter. So, I've been using her anyway, and she is on the Be Right Back screen and stuff. She's probably popped up a few times in this video so far, because I do go away from the stream quite often. I use that. I made like that into a little animated thing in a way, right? I made it into a slideshow with different text on the speech bubble, so it's kind of like she was talking to make it feel a bit more alive there. It'll be weird if someone follows while that's on the screen, but yeah. So I want to use her for the alerts anyway, and this one's gonna be for follow, and I'm just using it blanket on everything right now, and replacing the old one with it. But my hope is that I'll find the time to be able to do a different one for each thing. I kind of wanted to have like my initial idea, which is the initial ideas are never able to be executed on because they're always too grand. But the idea I kind of had in my head was I have an idol, and then it goes between being in the idol to like this is the follow amount, and she changes to do that, or changes to do the host one, and then returns to the idol at the end. I like the idea of that, but I have no idea how to get that working. I was also thinking about hiring a voice actor on like Fiverr or anything that I could use for that, just to add a bit more flair to it as well. I think that would be nice. That'd be a really nice touch. I want to find a voice that's kind of like a low pitched woman. She's a professional elf. You can kind of imagine the Ara type, but less like that, more serious actually. But towards that vein more than like the high pitched squealing glass shattering anime girl. And character wise, Vale isn't. I've got it listed here. She is elf, and she is professional. You can fill in the in between. Oh, buy water. Oops. Bottle of water, that is. I didn't just like slap a glass of water off my desk. Yeah, she has some other traits, but I won't get into because it pains me to get into character details. It feels weird to talk about, and I'm still trying to kind of figure it out. It's one of those where like you have like a feeling of what the character would respond like when you think of a scenario, but if you just try and think of what that is in literal terms, it's more difficult. That's probably just a cop out to say I don't understand what a character is, really. Maybe I need to like put them in more scenarios in my head so that I can figure that out. Because it is one of those where I guess maybe because I want the character to exude a specific feeling or vibe, that I'm tailoring them towards that as I put them through those situations. So I don't actually know who they are, but I know what I want them to be, if that makes sense. I want to definitely explore more with character writing. I've just thought about that on the fly there. I think that makes a lot of sense. I had to figure out my own way of character writing, because I do oft like to make characters. Oh, I like to make settings usually actually, and then maybe I'll think of a character story or like arc, but I won't think about like the details of their personality perhaps. I have big gaps in my writing skills. To put it broadly. Ignore anything I just said about that. I don't know what I'm talking about. What else? What have I got on my notes at all, actually? Oh, that's a thing. I think it's an easy trap to fall into to make a character a foil of yourself. I think that would definitely be a mistake in context of a stream. So something I wanted to do with her being for the stream was make her like a contrasting personality. Or I suppose she was, and then just fitted well to that. Because otherwise it's overwhelming for the stream and I'd probably get bored of it quite quickly. So I made sure it was, because I'm not a particularly professional person, but she is. It's one of her 2 character traits. Nor am I an elf, so she's 100% different in every way. And so I feel like that makes it kind of balances out the feel of the stream in a way. At least I think so. I think it helps. Maybe it just fights the feeling I'm going for, though. Who could say? Who could say? We are coming up to the end now. I will say, I think this came out okay. I guess. My process was goddamn awful. Please don't replicate what I did for this. If anyone's watching this that doesn't know how to animate, because neither do I. Don't copy this in any way. I just drew however I felt like it, and then was like, now I'll clean it up. That was a terrible way of doing it, but I get far too... It's one that, like, I've done light animation in the past, and coming back to it, I was just like, I know I'm making mistakes here, like doing, instead of just doing like preliminary and then clean a line work, I was just like, I feel like doing it like this, like doing it like a drawing with a draft and then color layer and stuff. I don't know, and imagining them together and then just drawing over it, you know. I felt like doing that. I felt like being an idiot. Anyway, coming up to the end here. So here is a bit of a simulation of the stream with the alerts going over top. And I just went on a few of those, and you can see how it looks. I feel like there definitely should have been some kind of idle at the end that it went into, but I was really like strapped for time. So it is what it is. I'll do gooder in the future, because this one was better than last. So anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll be back next week with another video. Haha, I'm lying!